After that, we are going to start our second session. So I would like to invite Dr. Head, Chairman Institute of Political Science, University of Warmia, and Mazury, Poland. I would like to invite Dr. Head to deliver his paper in the conference.
In our session, we have 4 presentations, 3 from Pakistan and 1 from Poland. From Poland will be online. And of course, I would like to invite speakers, Dasha Asmus, Anus also, Anus, okay, now in glasses I can see exactly double N, US. So, have a seat, and Dr. Faisal Tawai is coming, okay, is present. And then Dr. Uzma Sirai from Federal Urdu University, Islamabad, okay, because Gaskat and Faisal are from Karachi. Okay, have a seat. Okay, thank you. I would like to greet Dr. Eva Czarkowska from our Institute of Political Science. Okay, is under the name of Martin Hermina, maybe, because it is from university. And the last speakers are Dr. Ahmed Raza and Dr. Atil Rizvi, Government College University, Lahore. So we get from Karachi, Islamabad, Lahore, and Olsztyn representatives. So, according to the program, 10 minutes presentation. We are late, 15 minutes, but anyway, we have a time for conclusions, for discussion. That 10, 12 minutes, no more, please, for your presentation. So, I would like this time for first presentation. The title is Analysis of Geopolitical Dilemmas, a case study of Pakistan and Poland. The floor is yours.
So, Assalamu Alaikum and good afternoon to everyone, and Dzień dobry to our Polish colleagues. So, the topic of my presentation or my research is geopolitical dilemmas, the analysis of geopolitical dilemmas, a case study of Pakistan and Poland. So, what I have seen in my research that both these countries face some serious geopolitical challenges, and that is only because of their geographical location. Just because of that. So it's not escapable. It's not like you can change your country the next day. So we see the 2 countries, one is situated in somewhat Central and Eastern Europe, Poland, with a very small population as compared to Pakistan. And similarly, Pakistan is situated in the South Asian region, having the 5th largest nation on the planet. So the first issue that I am going to highlight is neighbors with hegemonous aspirations. As we can clearly see that Pakistan has a next door neighbor called India, somewhat of a large country. We have fought 4 wars with them, and they regularly interfere in our internal affairs through proxies and other means, and they do want to become somewhat of a hegemony in the region. Similarly, I would say Poland faces the same situation with Russia, because I would say Russia is an almost next door neighbor, because they have a small exclave of Kaliningrad, if I'm not wrong. So they recently attacked Ukraine. They're facing the same situation. And Russia, on the other hand, is accused by EU and other European nations that they do try to interfere in their affairs. Moving on, both the countries are facing a refugee crisis. In Pakistan, it's a bit old one. We have been facing the refugee crisis since the last 4 decades, and it's somewhat quite new to the Poland nation, that they're facing a similar sort of problem with the Ukrainian people. But the number of registered refugees are somewhat similar, but Pakistan, almost half of the refugees in Pakistan are not registered. I'm talking about the Afghan ones. So similarly, both the countries face security concerns due to their, similarly, both the countries are facing security concerns due to their location. We have, in India, we have an aggressive and hegemonous BJP government that poses a security threat to Pakistan, and the unstable Taliban government in Afghanistan. On the other hand, Poland obviously is faced with Russia, as they have clearly announced that the NATO supplies or the military supplies that are passing through Poland are legitimate Russian targets. Although I would say that Russia would think twice before attacking, because Poland is a member of NATO. So I'll conclude. I'll not take any more time. So on the conclusion, both countries are a prisoner of their geographical location. They face these issues only because of their geographical location, and there is no escape. Both countries need to secure themselves from their neighbors. Both are facing a refugee crisis that isn't going anywhere soon. Both countries are facing somewhat economic issues due to their refugee crisis. On the other hand, their healthcare system is expected to be burdened by the refugee crisis. And I would like to conclude my presentation on the point that there is a lot of scope in the relations of these two countries. Thank you for your time and attention.
Okay, thank you very much. It was less than 10 minutes, but very content presentation and material for discussion about similarities. So, but anyway, about neighbors, about the migration problem, about security. Thank you very much for this presentation. And now I would like to announce Dr. Urdu. The title of the presentation is Roads Linked to Connect, Prospects for Pakistan-Poland Relations in the Context of Greater Euro-Asian Connectivity.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Dr. Uzma Siraj, Head Department of IR, Federal Urdu University, Islamabad campus. I would like to congratulate Chairperson, Department of International Relations, Dr. Asghar Dashti, Dr. Faisal Javed, and all faculty members for holding this wonderful conference. And I would also like to thank all of you for providing me this opportunity to present my research paper on this platform. The title of the paper is The Road Leads to Connect, Prospects for Pakistan-Poland Relations in the Context of Greater Eurasian Connectivity. So here are some of the highlights of the presentation. I will be briefly talk about the history of Pakistan-Poland bilateral relations, current economic relationship between the two countries, and potential areas of trade. As the title suggests, that this paper deals with the importance of geographic connectivity in developing Pakistan-Poland relations and how it is linked with economic opportunities for both countries. For this purpose, I will briefly look at the Poland's growing interest in Asia and how Pakistan's geographic importance, regional connectivity drive, developing road and transport infrastructure under CPAC, and other connectivity projects can potentially benefit Pakistan and Poland relations. So here is the brief history of Pakistan-Poland relation. Pakistan and Poland are located at the two opposite ends of Eurasia. Being geographically apart and due to multiple security and political issues, both countries have not been able to establish strong economic relations in the past. Pakistan-Poland relations date back to the 1940s. After the independence of Pakistan on 14 August 1947, Liaquat Ali Khan, the first Prime Minister of Pakistan, made the first diplomatic approaches to the People's Republic of Poland, and finally on December 17, 1962, Pakistan became one of the first Muslim countries to establish relations with the then communist government of the Poland. Poland opened an embassy in Karachi in 1962, but moved it to Islamabad in 1965. Pakistani government opened its embassy in Warsaw in 1969. Then some unfortunate events of 1970 caused a long disruption in Pakistan-Poland relations. However, after the fall of communism, a fresh attempt to mend these ties was made, but it also went futile during the war against terrorism. However, with the changing dynamics of the world and shifting of the world economic center to Asia, construction of cross-continental road transport infrastructure and growing emphasis on regional connectivity, both countries are in a position to provide a solid base to their bilateral relations. The concept of regional connectivity through China-led infrastructure projects like BRI and its flagship project CPAC provides a window of opportunity to both states for establishing strong bilateral economic relationship. This could be a starting point for Pakistan and Poland to embark on a journey to establish strong relations in the Asian century. This study explores that how Pakistan can become a gateway for Poland to enter and explore South and Southeast Asia through CPAC. It will also discuss the prospective avenues of cooperation between Pakistan and Poland with the help of economic and trade data to ascertain the possibilities of close bilateral relations in the context of greater Eurasian connectivity. So, these two slides discuss current economic relations between Pakistan and Poland. The bilateral relationship between Pakistan and Poland are non-traditional. Current situation of Pakistan and Poland bilateral trade is not promising. In 2022, Pakistan's total export to Poland stands at $350 million, while Pakistan's import from Poland in the same year are approximately $160 million. So this is not a promising figure for a country with 220 million population. This is not a promising figure for a country of 220 million population in Poland, which is one of the fastest growing economy of the Europe. So to understand the current state of economic ties between Pakistan and Poland, this slide presents a list of Pakistan's top 25 trading partners. Countries that imported most of the Pakistani shipments by dollar value during 2021. Also shown is each country's imports percentage of total Pakistani export. And this table clearly demonstrates that Poland is at the 18th number in Pakistan's trading partner list. While the second table shows that top 25 trading partners of Poland, unfortunately, the fifth most populated country, Pakistan, is not there. Almost 88.4% of Polish export in 2021 were delivered to the above 25 trade partners. Poland's total exports in 2021 stands at $317 billion, and 85.9% of this trade is done with EU countries. Here is the list of Poland's top trading items and Pakistan's potential exporting items for Poland. So after looking at the current economic conditions of Pakistan and Poland trade and their current economic potential, two questions arises here. What are the prospects for developing economic relationship between fifth most populated country of the world with one of the most important and largest economy of the Central Europe? And secondly, what role might regional connectivity projects can play in this regard? How Pakistan's geographic location in the major connectivity projects like CPAC and BRI can contribute to connect Pakistan and Poland for the economic purpose, and how these roads would lead Poland to explore not only Pakistan, but further Asian and Southeast Asian markets. Pakistan's geographic and infrastructural potential. With around 220 million people and strategic location at the crossroad of South, Central, and West Asia, Pakistan has the potential to become a regional economic hub. One way to get there is by developing economic corridors, defined geographic areas with modern transport and trade infrastructure, facilities and policies that will spur economic activity within the country and with its neighbors. Economic corridors involve infrastructure, industrial and urban development. Done well, these can be fertile grounds for the investment opportunities that will result in more economic activity, jobs and faster movement of people and goods, and increased intercontinental connectivity. Good infrastructure is the backbone of economic corridor development. Efficient multimodal transport network, including road, railways, and ports, link urban centers to domestic and international market and encourage travel and enhance trade. Pakistan must capitalize on its transit potential through the infrastructure and construction of Gwadar Port under CPAC and by connecting it with other corridors of regional connectivity initiatives. Pakistan is maximizing its strategic location through connectivity and economic integration with other member countries of the Central Asia, West Asia, South Asia, Middle East, and with European countries. These regional connectivity programs like CPAC, BRI, corridors, and CARIC will definitely help to increase connectivity not only between Asia and Europe, but for Pakistan and Poland as well. Poland is located in Central Europe, and this factor alone demonstrates great potential for international trade. But only a meager 11% share of Polish trade items are being exported to Asia. Out of top 25 exporting countries of Poland, only one is located in Asia, and that is China. Similarly, European Union is the largest trading partner of Pakistan, but Poland stands way below in Pakistan's trading partners in Europe. Today, Poland is the world's 22nd largest economy, 8th in European Union, with a high share of modern industry in GDP, modern agriculture, and a large stake in European processing industry. Since 1991, Poland is the only European country with consistent GDP without decline, boasts the highest growth rate for several years, and is a leader in Central and Eastern European region. Cooperation with China, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, India, and Indonesia is developing faster and faster. There are more and more purchases in cooperative chain, more semi-finished products and parts, and finished products such as clothing and raw materials. After looking at the Polish economic potential and their overwhelming trade with Europe, here is the Poland's effort to expand its economic relations in Asia. Polish-Asian Chamber of Commerce was established in April 2016 as the initiative for Polish entrepreneurs with the mission to deepen the internationalization of Polish companies. The Chamber helps members to efficiently match demand and supply by identifying the needs and connecting them with reliable business partners. Polish-Asian Chamber of Commerce efforts offer its members to a wide range of services including business consulting, economic analysis, PR services. Moreover, the Chamber organizes events such as business missions, conferences, seminars. And due to wide network of contacts and great experience of its members, Polish-Asian Chamber of Commerce is an attractive business partner and is an added value for entities that are interested in developing their business for foreign markets and promoting their companies in the international business environment. Among many benefits of being a member of it, offers access to wide network of contacts, including Polish and foreign companies, exclusive invitations to the meeting with the leading figures in business, politics, and organizations supporting business development in Poland and abroad. Polish-Asian Chamber of Commerce present great avenue for Pakistani entrepreneurs to explore business opportunities with Poland along with other Asian countries. So I would briefly conclude my presentation. Pakistan and Poland have not been able to develop strong ties in the past, but 21st century presents them great possibilities to come together, enhance economic cooperation, benefit from each other's potential, and play their part in greater Eurasian integration. Poland's growing economic power and Pakistan's geographic potential through CPAC and Gwadar Port and other regional connectivity projects will bring numerous opportunities in this regard. And business community from both countries must explore opportunities for their shared future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So now we are going to the third presentation, and then we have a contact with Dr. Eva Krakowska. Is online?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, he is online.
Okay,
Yes.
we can see you.
Hello, I'm online, yes. Welcome to all participants of our conference. I fully regret that I couldn't come Karachi in person. As time is very limited, I will try to present briefly some facts related to my topic. The topic refers to the Sino-Russian strategic partnership developing in the 21st century from the perspective of Pakistan's security interests in a broad international context. Particular noteworthy is the new strategy implemented by Washington in the Indo-Pacific. Pakistan is gradually taken under revision in the 21st century. The activity of two powers, and China and Russia, is one of the leading trends that challenge the global hegemon and strategic interests of the United States. Foreign policy of Beijing and Moscow, as well as Sino-Russian relations model, have influence on modern international security systems. One of the instruments to ensure that the United States continues undergoing and profound transformation. In this context, the working hypothesis can be formulated as follows. The observed Sino-Russian rapprochement serves Pakistan's security interests as well as economic interests. From Pakistan's perspective, the strategic partnership between Moscow and Beijing is of particular importance for maintaining strategic stability and balance of power in the region. This directive translates into the search for guarantees of cooperation with both countries by Islamabad. Pakistan seeks guarantees of security and stability, joins forces with its traditional ally, China, and at the same time it introduces a certain novelty to the strategy by establishing cooperation with Russia. In order to bring the issue closer, it's necessary to try answer two main questions. First, what factors influence the Pakistan perception of Sino-Russian approachment? And second, what interest do Pakistan have with China and Russia at this stage of the global and regional game? As time is very limited, let me focus mainly on the external factors and community of interest that influence the Pakistani perception. Pakistan's policy towards the Sino-Russian tandem cannot be separated from international conflict. As the international context of Pakistan's foreign policy changed, Islamabad's relationship with China and Russia also began to evolve. It must be admitted that the dynamics of change in the international arena at the beginning of the 21st century is exceptional. Pakistan must adapt its own foreign policy to this new dynamic and find new modus vivendi in a new reality. Among the most important international determinants of Pakistan's policy toward both countries, the following are particularly noteworthy. First, a change in the global balance of power, which also affects the regional level. Important elements of this change are the growth of China's power and influence, and the relative weakening of power projection and reduction of the influence of the United States. The global power transition triggered adjustment process in all geopolitical risks and was noted in the strategic documents of all the most important players. This process takes on a particular dimension in the Indo-Pacific region, which is a relatively new geopolitical construct. The concept of the Indo-Pacific originates from the United States security strategy of the Barack Obama presidency. The idea of connecting the two oceans into one coherent geostrategy and geoeconomic entity was then developed by the administrations of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. This concept is not necessarily close to the strategy of the two continental powers, namely China and Russia. In their rhetoric, Moscow and Beijing still use the term Asia-Pacific region, showing the duality of the region where continental centers of power compete for China's sea power. But both countries are certainly reacting to the Washington's policy modification. They are particularly sensitive to changes with the radar technology. The second factor is the anti-Chinese strategy being increasingly created by the United States. No longer the Chinese see American activities in Russia as a threat to their security interests and an obstacle to their own economic development. It must be admitted that Beijing maneuvered for quite a long time to avoid the so-called Thucydides trap. As a result, the interests of the United States and China are naturally colliding now, and this trend probably will only deepen in the future. American initiatives such outlets and quotes means that the Chinese had to find an influential ally with a similar view of international relations. In the face of good threats, China's traditional strategy of non-involvement, neutrality, and not entering into alliances may turn out to be ineffective. The aim of Chinese actions is to limit the risk of peace and anti-Chinese initiatives. Beijing will begin to create a network of political, economic, and military ties with the countries of the Indo-Pacific region. In fact, the Chinese want to create sea and land connections between all continents. This is, of course, a vision calculated for many decades, but the strategic thinking of the China always has a long perspective. This model fits both on the long-term Arctic Pacific flank Russian concept, Northern Sea Road, integrated with Chinese Ice Silk Road, and Pakistan, and will go to the Indian Ocean and further to the Persian Gulf as a part of the Chinese String of Pearls strategy, one belt and one road initiative. This way, the Chinese, Russians, and Pakistanis can cross the Eurasian transcontinent from north and from east to west, with the infrastructure they control and smoothen the sea and land road from Asia to Europe. It will definitely change the balance of power in the global economy. This is the purpose of projects that can capture and strengthen Chinese influence in three oceans: India, Pacific, and Arctic. It is worth noting that Russia is likely to become an important supplier of strategic raw materials to the Asian market in the long term. This will affect the energy security of both China and Pakistan. As a result, both countries will become one of the beneficiaries of the forced withdrawal of Russia from the European market. The global energy system will also transform, and the risk of dependence of slots, key lines of communication, will be reduced. This will deprive Washington of one of the instruments of pressure on China. The common perception of external threats connect Russia and China. China and Russia are well aware of the limitations and know that the inevitable collision of strategic interests with the West requires them to be flexible in their cooperation. Both powers show that strategic cooperation and rivalry that does not enter into the phase of strategic confrontation and hostility is possible. Cooperation also requires them to concentrate on their power and combine their complementary potential. In this way, they need allies with a favorable geopolitical and geostrategic position. Pakistan is certainly one of them. The third factor that worries Pakistan and affects its perception is certainly the strengthening of India's position in the region. This is related to the strengthening of the Indo-American strategic and defense partnership. In fact, this emerging engagement between India and the United States is based on their shared interest of complicating the security calculations of Pakistan and China. Thus, the strategic partnership between India and the United States provides a significant variable to Pakistan to dramatically change the dimensions of its security and strategic relationship with Asian powers such as China and Russia. For Pakistan, this partnership will provide it not only an option to maintain balance in the region vis-à-vis India, but it will also provide it with an alternate to the United States in the form of really its relationship with Russia and China. In 2016, the United States entitled India as a major defense partner. Since then, both the countries have signed many pacts allowing each other defense forces to use their respective military facilities, along with the mutual sharing of real-time sensitive military information. The remaining of the oldest and largest U.S. military command from U.S. Pacific Command to U.S. Indo-Pacific Command in May 2018 indicates the importance of India in the strategic calculations of the United States with regard to Asia. Carefully noted Islamabad and Beijing. Both also noticed Moscow, so in this correction, an opportunity to stimulate its approach to China and Pakistan. This intensive engagement between India and the United States, although fundamentally is being put to lead the China economic.
Dr. Ella,
Okay.
go to the conclusion. Okay.
Okay. Conclusion. Fourth external factor that affects the Pakistan perception is the withdrawal of United States forces from the 2-decade-long Afghan operation. It's the fourth. To sum up, it can be said that from the perspective of its regional security, Pakistan sees a convergence of its interests with China and Russia and even the stage of development of international relations in the Indo-Pacific region. Pakistan, like many other countries in the region, will be forced to shift the main vector in its foreign policy that will guarantee security in the face of a number of threats. It's clear from the intensity of contacts that China is Pakistan's priority. That, on the other hand, is a kind of additional protection and opportunity to maintain the balance of power vis-à-vis India and the United States in the region. Finally, allow me to quote some words that old soldiers of the Cold War period and practitioners of political realism said just that. He said that the contemporary world is in chaos and becoming more damaging than it was during the Cold War. I really think that maybe this time is a mistake. Thank you for your attention.
And then it's more time for discussion, for questions to our three speakers. One online, two in person. So,
Questions?
Okay? And the microphone from. And please introduce yourself and say to whom are your questions.
Pakistan relationship between China and Pakistan relationship between Saudi Arabia is very much highlighted
why Pakistan relationship with Poland is not highlighted? What is the reason behind this?
I am not a speaker. I am now my duties by it's overtime.
Now my question is for you, please to answer this. Yeah. Now my question is that Pakistan relationship between China, Pakistan relationship between Saudi Arabia is very much highlighted. Why Pakistan relationship with Poland is not highlighted? What is the reason behind this?
First of all, he already told you that right now he is not in the position of giving an answer. ठीक है? और the other thing is, जिन ममालिक की आपने नाम लिया है, जाहिर सी बात है वो बड़े ममालिक हैं, उनसे ताल्लुकात के जो तरीका है वो अलग है, जो मसाइल है वो अलग है. It's a whole new dimension. ठीक है? पाकिस्तान का पोलैंड का ताल्लुक इतना गहरा नहीं है जो हाईलाइट हो, इसीलिए ये कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रही है, इसीलिए हम बात करें कि हमारे पास बहुत रास्ते हैं इस ताल्लुकात को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए. थैंक यू.
मुझे बताइएगा कि उर्दू है जिसका नाम हम भी जानते हैं सारे जहाँ पे हमारी जबान की है, हमारी कौमी जबान उर्दू है, तो मैं चाहूँगा कि उर्दू में आप बताइएगा कि पाकिस्तान पोलैंड के जो ताल्लुकात हैं, विकास ताल्लुकात तो है ना, तो बताया गया पढ़े गए, बताया गया कि ताल्लुकात है. तो व्हाट अबाउट द पॉलिटिकल रिलेशन बिटवीन पोलैंड एंड पाकिस्तान? हालात आगे मुस्तकबिल में क्या मुस्तकबिल होगा पोलैंड और पाकिस्तान के ताल्लुकात का, तो मुस्तकबिल क्या होगा? Dr. Urdu, Chairman Department of International Relations, Islamabad University.
सर, आपने कहा कि उर्दू में जवाब दिया जाए, आपकी ख्वाहिश का एहतराम करते हुए उर्दू में ही जवाब दे देती हूँ. पाकिस्तान पोलैंड के रिलेशनशिप का पॉलिटिकल फ्यूचर जो है वो डेफिनेटली बहुत ब्राइट है, लेकिन उसमें जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले करेगा वो इस किस्म की एक्टिविटीज होगी. इसके लिए पाकिस्तान और पोलैंड को जिस चीज़ पे काम करना है वो ये है कि शुड वर्क ऑन मेकिंग आवर पीपल मोर ईच अदर, लोग एक दूसरे को जानने की कोशिश करें. एकेडमिक इंटरेक्शन में इस मामले में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करेगा. और ये कॉन्फ्रेंस जो है इसकी बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट है कि यहाँ पे जो रिसर्च पेश की जा रही है दैट बिकम द प्राइमरी सोर्स कि पाकिस्तान पोलैंड रिलेशन पे काम नहीं हुआ. तो यहाँ पे पॉलिटिकल एविडेंस भी निकलेंगे, इकोनॉमिक अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी निकलेंगी, और बहुत सारे और स्ट्रेटेजिक मामला जो हैं उनके पर हमें बहुत सारे नए चीज़ें जो है वो देखने को मिलेंगी और नए चांसेस जो है वो मिलेंगे ताल्लुकात को एस्टैब्लिशमेंट से. जो इम्पोर्टेंट बात है वो ये कि स्पॉन्सर की प्रोसीडिंग्स हैं, अगर हम यहाँ से रिकमेंडेशन से हम बरकत करें और उनको शेयर किया जाए पाकिस्तान के फॉरेन ऑफिस के भी और पोलैंड के अंदर भी, तो मेरे ख्याल में गवर्नमेंट के लिए भी एक अच्छा जो है वो हमारी तरफ से एक अच्छा इनिशिएटिव होगा जिसमें मज़ीद ऐड ऑन किया जा सकता है, कैपिटलाइज ऑन किया जा सकता है कि हम इन रिकमेंडेशन की बेस पे पोलिटिकल जो रिलेशन हैं उसको स्ट्रॉन्ग करने की कोशिश करें. लेकिन पोलिटिकल रिलेशनशिप के लिए भी स्ट्रॉन्ग होने के लिए जो मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है आज की दुनिया में दैट इज इकोनॉमिक रिलेशन. Unless and until पाकिस्तान और पोलैंड अपनी इकोनॉमिक रिलेशनशिप को स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं करते, वी कैन नॉट एक्सपेक्ट कि हम पॉलिटिकली भी ताल्लुकात को मजबूत कर सकें. तो ये सारी चीज़ें आपस में इंटीग्रेटेड हैं, बट होपफुली ताल्लुकात जो है स्ट्रॉन्ग होगी और हमारी कॉन्फ्रेंस जो है दैट विल प्ले अ बिग रोल इन दिस रिगार्ड.
Thank you for your answer. Now, two next questions from ladies. Great.
Alaikum, this is me Ariba Mukhtar from Department of BS Economics 4th semester. My question is from Dr. Zakorsky. I know you are not a speaker, but my question is from you. I hope you will answer. Can I ask? Can you please explain how can Poland face post-war crisis? Can you please explain post-war crisis?
Which one? Ukraine war.
More? Yeah, this is okay. Very short question, but answer is very difficult from quite many levels. You know, because you are talking about the war, Russian-Ukrainian war, but this is the impact is regional and global, and this is very complex, you know, answer. And then you are asking me about the reasons of the war or about the period after the war. Because, you know, nobody knows how long will last this war. Some military advisors said at least 2 years, but look at Syria, more than 10 years, and no signs to conclude a final long time peace. So this is all, you know, we are quite emotional in this aspect because Ukraine is our border, and you know, Russian Federation is very close to us because of the Kaliningrad region, and therefore, you know, and this is not, you can see not only from, you can read or watch from media, but this war is have a not only bilateral level, more and more, we can say, engagement was made not only military, economic, political, public relations, and this is, if so many forces are engaged, because not only hard power, but also very much soft power, then, you know, the end, it is not the talk between Russia and Ukraine. It's a talk about main global actors. So I think about USA and China, European Union, and even others. Because, you know, if we are talking about energy crisis, now the prices for heating, for electricity, for example in Poland, are so high that we are, you know, we are waiting for a winter without -20.
Okay, session chair is requested to please present certificates to the paper presenters. It's time to certificates distribution. Session chair is requested to please present certificates to the paper presenters.
Okay, the certificate of participation is for Dasha Hanus. The second one is for Dr. Uzma Dirai. And now we have no possibility to send, you know, such certificates, you know, we can make by email, but not yet, you know, like, you know, yeah, maybe in the future. Okay, so now it's time, no more questions, it's time for summing up our session. Thank you for very interesting presentations. As always, not enough time to present, but anyway, the first presentation, very important, 2 topics, and
There were mentioned similarities. Neighbors. Neighbors are very important. Friendly neighbors. And by history we know that, like in family, sometimes going well, sometimes going bad. And this is, I think, quite good example. India for Pakistan and Russia for Poland, but as I said to my colleague that it's some kind of similarity, but also this is some kind we should think about specificity, because it's not the same. Another similarity, the problem of migration of refugees, especially from Afghanistan to Pakistan, and now from Ukraine to Poland and back. But you know, I think this is also good example, good comparison, but the nature of this migration and we can say character of this migration is quite different. But this is a topic for discussion, to develop research. What we can compare, in which way, in which scale, and so on. And of course, security concerns are very important. Thank you for mentioning. And as it was in the past, geopolitics plays a very important role. Fortunately or unfortunately, because Poland is situated between two European powers, Germany and Russia, and this is for us not so much, we can say, diplomatic profitable. But anyway.
Now I request Professor Dr. Arkadiy Zhukovsky for giving honorary shield to Dr. Sayyid Wasimuddin. So please. Honorary shield presents to Dr. Sayyid Wasimuddin, ex-chairman, Department of IR, Federal Urdu University. Now we are starting our third session. I would like to request Professor Dr. Gromisky, Institute of Political Science and International Relations, Krakow, Poland. Sir, I request you to please have a seat. Hello. Dr. Arkadiy Zhukovsky wants to say something about presentation of Dr. Uzma Siraj. Yes, please, sir. You can.
So, because I talk about the first presentation, and I would like to say about the second, very short about the third one. But thank you for so complex presentation from Greek history, and you did not mention this event from the 70s, but there were a little bit tragic. But thank you for this presentation of statistics on trade cooperation, and I was impressed that Poland is the 18th top trading partner for Pakistan. And you know, geopolitics, as I said, plays a very important role. And if we are talking about regional connectivity, the Silk Road is now under some kind, we can say, question. because another superpower wants to stop such project. And in many cases that now Russia, Belarus, Ukraine is blocked. And then thank you also for the third presentation. The third presentation gave us a picture of the situation from the global perspective, and it is the real challenge for Pakistan, Pakistani foreign policy, how to manage these two projects, the Sino-Russian partnership and US Indo-Pacific strategy. It's a real challenge for you, foreign policy, and get some information and knowledge about what is going on in this case. And then, as a chair, I would like to thank you for your participation, attendance. It was really a pleasure and honor. Thank you. And then, okay, this is my duty is over, and now I would like to introduce Professor Alexander Gubowski from Jagiellonian University in Poland, the oldest one of the oldest in Europe, very famous university, very prestige, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor, for the kind introduction of myself and my university, my alma mater, you say, HMD. I have an honor and pleasure to chair the discussion, the panel about the economy, Pakistan-Poland economic relations, challenges and opportunities. We have 5 presentations, some of them performed by 2 presenters. So without delay, we'll start from the first presentation, which is Poland and Pakistan's foreign policies in light of the economic prospects. The presenters are Dr. Samrin Amir and Mr. Muhammad Mustafa Raza from DHA Sufa University, Karachi. The floor is yours, please.